Hello everybody, Good Review Surplus here, and today I want to show you all my World War I gm15. First I want to talk about some of the things that's been going on this week. So as you saw, we made some collector's cops. If you don't know, they're parodies of iDubbbz's content cops. Me and Alex worked on those, so if you haven't seen them yet, go give them a check out. I thought they were pretty funny. But now let's get into looking at this mask at hand. The gm15 is the precursor to the gm17. This mask would have came out before the gm17's production. The official name of this mask is the gummimaske 15 because the inside is coated with a rubber material, which when it was first made and when these were first manufactured was actually very flexible and stuff. Nowadays, when you find these, they're pretty brittle, just like the Type CEs and the SBRs. These masks are actually getting pretty hard to find. The sources are drying up on where to find them, and when you find them, they're now not in the best of shape. I'm sad that I've passed up on some within the past few years. The first Show of Shows trip I went on, actually, they had one there, except the lenses were completely rotted out of the, I guess they're sockets or rings, whatever you would call that. So I didn't end up picking it up for $500, although looking back now, I wish I did because I would have had one with a canister. This one, as you may be able to tell, does not have a canister, but everything else is there on the mask. The straps are in very good shape. The mask is a little bit hardened, but it's not as bad as my SBRs, if you all have seen that one. It's more in between the Type CE that I have in the SBR in its pliability. Getting some light on the mask, you can see that the lenses have yellowed a tad bit. They're not fully yellow, but they do have that yellow tinge to them. The mask is also more of a grayish color now, which makes it very hard to see the stamps, but if you get really close, you can see the size 2 stamp right there, and the Draeger stamp, which is DR. It's really hard to read, but you can see where it says Draeger, which is the manufacturer of this mask. We actually have a whole new setup. I don't know if you can tell, but now you can see my window to the far left. Move some stuff around, and I'll eventually, when we do our collection tour at the end of the year, which is always my favorite video, but one of the hardest videos to make, because it's going over everything, which makes it an easy video until you realize how much stuff you really have, which I like making it, but at the same time, it is a very difficult video to make. Anyway, though, back to the mask itself. So, as you can see, it does have its stamps. Well, I don't have the light on anymore, so you can't really read them, but the mask does still have all of its original stamps. The mask itself is in overall pretty good condition. The fact that it is still folded out makes it a good display piece. Unfortunately, though, the rubber, as I said, is pretty stiff, as you can hear when you tap onto it. But looking at the back of the mask, we can actually see the straps. Now I'll just readjust the camera, and then we'll take a better look at the straps. But now let's get a look at the overall inside of the mask. So we'll just pull the straps out here. You want to be easy when you do this. Just kind of fold them out of your way. I usually pull them over the mask a little bit. Don't do that if the straps are, resisting. These just kind of rest, so it was pretty easy to do that. So you can see the inside of the mask is in pretty good shape. All the rubber is still there. It hasn't fallen out. I've seen a few GM15s for sale, and the masks are very pliable, but someone has either broken all the rubber out trying to open up the mask, or it's fallen out over time, which is usually the case. So you can see it still has its neck strap. Unlike my GM17, though, the name is not on the neck strap. It is actually on the head straps, or the head harness. So taking a look at that, you can see the guy's name on the top, and what I believe is his number, and maybe his regiment down there, but I am fairly uncertain about what those mean. So if anybody can tell me what these mean, these numbers down here mean, do let me know in the comments below. But now let's take a look at the filter. So I gotta be careful when removing the filter. You want to try to hold it by here when you remove it, as the paint is known to flake off at times. So after I can just get it off very gently there. The mask is very lightweight, by the way. As you can see, the mask holds its shape entirely. Most of the paint is still there. As you can see around the edges, it is missing, but that's not a big deal in my eyes. There's the band that ties around it that you find on most of them. Moving this to the side, though, we can get a good look at the filter. The filter, due to it not being in a canister for long term, it is actually in very good shape with most of the original paint still being there and stuff. There's a little bit of rust on the bottom, and up top you can see there is a little bit of what I assume is rust down in the filter. Other than that, as you can see, it has the typical filter stampings, but the filter's in overall pretty good shape. And as I said before, this one did not come with a canister. I don't know if I'll buy the canister for it. In my eyes, mixing and matching the items does not make them worth as much. But I might end up buying one in the future that has a canister. So we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for that, because I honestly didn't think I'd get one this soon, as they are drying up in supply, as I said before. But if you enjoyed this video, go check out some of my other World War I gas masks. I have a bunch. I'm getting more as we speak as well. But this is definitely one of the ones that I've very well anticipated, and it was very well worth the wait. Having a gm15 has always been one of the goals in my collecting hobby, I guess you could say, because it is definitely one of the most iconic masks there is. I will see you in the next one, though, and happy collecting.